across the pond in the United Kingdom to the west coast of Orange County, California. From the Pacific perspective to the Atlantic perspective. From liberal craziness to conservative idealism. From Christianity to atheism belief systems. Welcome to the TheGrayZone RoundTable with Rectify and Wingman at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com.
My lips to all the good peeps out there in Freedom Slips land. This is Rectify. I'm joined with my co-host Wingman, Angela Black, the one and only, Bruce McDonald, and this is the TheGrayZone RoundTable. Wingman, how you doing tonight? Today, this morning over in the UK.
I'm trying to concentrate on Candy Crush, Rectify.
What is Candy Crush?
You haven't heard of Candy Crush?
I have not.
It's an addictive game on Facebook.
Yeah, Rectify's not a Facebook. Rectify's not a Facebook boy.
No, I'm on Facebook. Man.
Yeah,
Facebook.
You have to get these pieces of fruit in line to get a nice sound, basically, and yeah, it's terrible, but I'm addicted. I'm on level 150, I think it is. But
that's sick.
Well, right on. This is a roundtable, everybody out there. Happy Tuesday morning, Monday late night for us West Coasters in the States. It is April 8th for everybody but us here on the West Coast. You are listening, and this is 2014, by the way, the year of our Lord. This is a roundtable, so I'm going to give out the number. We've got a lot of seats open. Everybody's welcome to join in, bring all your thoughts to the table. 347-688-2902. That's 347-688-2902. Skype us, Freedom Screen, all one word. Or, I don't want to give out my Skype because it's kind of a little crude. So, yeah, Freedom Screen.
So mysterious. Hey, Wingman, and hey, Rectify, and what's up, people?
Hello, Angela Black.
I made it.
I listened to your show today. It was very good. We had two black on blacks. Black on black. I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let me also give out the rest of the promos while we're getting started here. The YouTube channels that are of importance are the TheGrayZone Radio. That's an A in the word gray. Free Revolution Radio. And Revolution Talk Radio. Those are our three YouTube channels. And I also wanted to thank...
Revolution Radio.
Is it Talk Revolution Radio?
Yeah.
Okay, I got that
Correct.
backwards.
No worries.
No, I'm dyslexic, so yeah. Noreen, thank you very much at Wild at Heart Roundtable, the show that preceded us here at the TheGrayZone. Thank you, Noreen, for the shout out as always, and that's Tuesdays midnight to 2 Eastern Standard Time. That's with Noreen, Wild at Hearts. So yeah, we also have Bruce McDonald with us. He hasn't said a peep yet. I want to introduce him. How you doing, Bruce?
I'm good, thanks. Just took myself off mute there. Yeah, it's the middle of the morning. A little bit of insomnia going. Thought I'd join a roundtable.
Right on. That's what we do.
And Wingman, how are you?
Been a bit under the weather. Had this nasty flu recently. And I was trying to console a friend at the same time that had split up with a lover. So, yeah, interesting week.
Are you trying to be a third leg for someone that's got their heart crushed right now?
Yeah, and I'm yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh, really? My heart's kind of like achy, breaky as well. But anyway, you got to give them the advice, the same old advice, and console them.
Time heals.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
Go get yourself a hooker or something, right?
But
so crass.
Heartache's painful, man, and I kind of, was seeing my friend go through it. Kind of reminded me just how painful it is, Yeah,
breakups are always hard to do. That's an oldie but a goodie, that song.
Yeah.
That's right. They say that breaking up is hard to do.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, sure is.
How's Tahoe today, Angela?
Oh, it's beautiful, like usual. I'm in purgatory in paradise. You know what I mean? Like, I look out the window and I'm like, oh, look at how beautiful. And then I, sit inside and I do my thing and I do my show and I'm like, let me cook something. And then, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I made my wife
just,
some freaking ghetto pasta, or I'll call it a ghetto stir fry tonight, but she likes it. I cut up some hot dogs, blacken them up a little in some olive oil, and then do a packet of ramen and drain that up, put that all together, some broccoli and soy sauce, and she loves it. I don't have a thing for it, but she loves it, so.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't eat much these days. I can't, but I do like to. I went to the, what do you call it? There's this place called the Grocery Outlet, and it's the gross out. And they call it the gross out. You gotta check your expiration date. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but I did get a cool cauliflower for like $1.49. So I was just stoked. And
you believe in expiration dates?
Yeah,
I don't believe in them. I do visuals and use my nose and.
Oh no. There are certain expiration dates that are necessary. But, most of them, as far as medication is concerned, stuff like that, which I'm not really into, except for unless it's some type of sedative. I don't really care, as far as, medication is concerned. But, you really need to watch your expiration dates on, meat and things like this, milk, meat, cheese, these types of things, I say yes. Yes, watch your expiration.
I made a paella the other day. Very nice one too.
A paella? What's that?
You never heard of paella?
Paella? Paella?
Yeah.
What is it, like a chopped up? Please continue.
Paella, Paella, is a Spanish dish, and it has mussels and seafood and big prawns and chicken and rice and peas. Very nice. Very easy to do as well, really.
And you made it?
Yeah, I made it for me and to console my friend, and I made a lot of it, actually. I did about 6 portions of the stuff, 6 meals, because I don't know how to cook in small portions, so there we go.
Oh, that's so good. Did you grow up like a family who cooked on army, basically? Yeah. Cool. So anyway, how did it turn out? Is it yummy?
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I always do good paella.
Speaking of portion sizes, doesn't it seem like a conspiracy that they sell offsets of portions to us when we make dishes, recipes and everything? It's never for 2 people or 4 people. It's for 6 or 5, and you end up throwing out leftovers all the time. If you just live with you and your loved one, it's a guilt-stricken process, but at the same time, it keeps you buying new stuff because of expiration, right?
And not only that, the MSG, to keep you addicted. Come on, you got to go with the MSG. That keeps you addicted. I mean, really.
And that's just the trickery of the brain, too. It's not really a good flavor. It just makes you think it is.
Exactly. Phenylalanine. Exactly. So, anyway, I want to hear more about the paella or whatever. So you go to the store and you buy, what do you buy, and then you're I'm going to make paella, whatever.
Well, I bought a seafood mix, which has calamari, mussels, cockles, prawns, and I think that's about it, really, but lots of different types of seafood. And it's quite easy. You just get some chicken, brown some chicken, put with some onion, put some tin tomatoes in with the chicken and cook the chicken thoroughly. And then add a cup of rice, you can get special paella rice, but any old rice, long grain rice will do. And you meant to add saffron as well, but that's quite expensive and hard to get hold of. And that's to colour.
Really?
That's to colour the rice yellow. But you can use turmeric,
Here.
So turmeric works just as well. So shove after the chicken's cooked, put some chicken stock in, put the rice into that, add all your seafood stuff and everything, and just let the water soak up all the liquid, and then you're done. Really, it's really easy.
Nice. Well, whenever you come over, you're going to make for me.
So what's your specialty?
Let's see. What do I do? What do I make there, Bill? My husband's in the background. Hold on. What do I make?
Gotta ask the man his favorite, because...
Oh, yeah. I make what do you call it? Caprese. I love caprese. So I use the fresh mozzarella. You know, they have buffalo mozzarella, but it's kind of nasty. So I don't really eat buffalo cheese, but I eat fresh cow cheese. And that's the moist cow cheese, and then lots and lots and lots of basil, tomatoes, as you said, and then lemon and olive oil, and some Himalayan pink salt, and maybe a little splash of some vinegar, etc. What do you call it? Balsamic. You know, like that's. Mm-hmm. I could eat that every for the rest of my life and be one happy woman, seriously. Like what I could eat, so, you know, and then I don't do a lot of starch anymore. I can't. It's weird. It doesn't really process me because, you know, days are not yesterday's starch. You know, you're talking about, you know, wheat and, gluten and these sorts of things. So I can't, that's too loud, Bill. And I'm sorry, I've got the husband in the background watching a movie because he's like, okay, go on air. So anyway, I have to say that as much as I love a good pasta dish and I love tomato sauce and this type of thing, I don't process it well anymore in my body. So I try to fit what's going on. And I do make a lot of, fresh food, fresh, or whatever is represented as fresh these days, you know, and I'm very anti-GMO and that type of thing, but it's almost impossible. What do you think, Wingman? And I know Rectify knows exactly what I'm talking about, as, you know, he's in California and there was 37, which was a mandatory labeling of GMO foods proposition for law, and then it did not pass. So, Wingman, do you find yourself finding food that is digestible and good for you, and the availability of that in the UK?
Not really. I get quite depressed every time I walk into a supermarket nowadays, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I walk in with the hope of finding something tantalizing that might excite my taste buds, but realistically, when I get into the store, nothing really grabs me in terms of, you know, really tasty to excite my taste buds, and so I always end up on a downer after I leave the supermarket. But I think, you know, I don't know. I just remember food tasting a lot better, and it seems to have deteriorated a lot. And you know, it's like you get say you get a new product comes to market and it tastes excellent, but you find over the years it degenerates. The taste gets worse as they obviously try to skimp on the ingredients of whatever the product might be. But I find this happens across the board, generally speaking. It's like my favourite yogurt. I got a yogurt drink, and I hadn't had it for a while, and I got one the other day, and it was like milk instead of being, you know, the consistency was like milk, and you know, things like that. So, you know, that's what goes on. So yeah, it's hard to get my taste buds going nowadays, I think, just because the food's kind of dead nowadays, you know.
Speaking of dead food, this worries me here, being who I am. This is out of Popular Science, how global warming will affect your beer prices. There are many things that will change as Earth's climate warms. doctoral student Peter Goes is worried about the price and quality of beer. Aspiring plant bioengineer worked with a team of scientists to test how not getting enough water altered the quality of barley grains. In a small pilot study, the scientists found that the starches inside barley grains grown with too little water are different from starches found inside nicely watered barley grains. The dryness-stressed barley had no longer chain starch grains and more protein than normally grown barley. From there, Gauss made an interesting conjecture about the future, one we've never thought of. Climate change is expected to bring more frequent and more severe droughts to growing regions all over the world. If that affects the quality of different grains, including the barley that goes into beer, that means people will have to pay more for the same quality of beer. Gauss told the Brisbane Times, I think that's Aussie,
Correct.
yeah. If you ask any brewer, starch and starch quality will affect your brew and the taste of the beer, he said. If it pushes normal starch in the grain to the point that it becomes resistant starch, the cost of producing your beer is going to increase, he said. Luckily, Gauss and his colleagues also found that a new variety of barley, we say GMO probably, Monsanto, right? Bred so that it has drought-resisting qualities, originally discovered in sorghum, resists changing its starches in response to not getting enough water. The new barley is probably aluminum resistant too, right? The new barley is called Stay Green barley. Varieties like this could help grain quality stay stable even in a more drought-prone world. Gauss told the Brisbane Times, indeed, experts have long known that creating and growing new varieties of well-beloved crops is one of the many ways agriculture will have to adapt to climate change in the future. Monsanto! Right. Now they're screwing with my beer. I'm pissed.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to switch devices.
Yeah, because you are cutting out a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad Wi-Fi signal or something.
Such, you know what and stuff. So, all right, I'm going to hang it up, call back.
Alrighty. Yeah, we also have another story here while we're waiting for Angela, because she's the party queen. I love having her on. U.S. Navy game changer, converting seawater into fuel. So this free energy, which I think we're going to be going into, I think that's going to be part of our next revolution, like we had the Industrial Revolution, the Agricultural Revolution, so forth and so on. I think the next one's going to be an energy revolution. So yeah, the Navy now is admittingly letting us know that they are converting seawater into fuel, which I've known for a long time, through electrolysis. You throw some current through water, and you're going to separate the hydrogen from the oxygen. And hydrogen, we all know, is a very potent and potent fuel, combustible fuel. So this is Washington Post. The U.S. Navy believes it has finally solution to a problem that has intrigued scientists for decades. How to take seawater and use it as fuel. The development of a liquid hydrocarbon fuel is being hailed as quote-unquote a game changer because it would significantly shorten the supply chain, a weak link that makes any force easier to attack. See, it's always about warfare when it comes to these innovations, right? Why can't it be for peace and for all the regular peoples, right? Yeah. The U.S. has a fleet of 15 military oil tankers, and only aircraft carriers and some submarines are equipped with nuclear propulsion. All other vessels must frequently abandon their mission for a few hours to navigate in parallel with the tanker, a delicate operation, especially in bad weather, to refuel. The ultimate goal is to eventually get away from the dependence of oil altogether, which would also mean the Navy is no longer hostage to potential shortages of oil or fluctuations in its costs. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Doesn't really get into it. Basically, we've treated energy like air, something that's always there and that we don't worry about too much. But the reality is that we have to worry about it. Okay, I don't get it. We're in a closed system here. It's not like birds can fly to the moon, right? So where does the resources go? Everything's in a closed system. They get recycled. So yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. Anyways. Yeah, they don't tell the process. But I'm sure it's electrolysis, pulling the hydrogen from the oxygen molecule. But whatever. At least they're finally coming forward. I'm sure they've been doing it for at least 100 years.
Is that leaked or is they actually said that, did they?
No, they don't tell the process. That's the thing. That's just my hypothesis on how they're doing it. I can't figure any other way.
No, but is it an actual statement that's been released, or was it leaked or something?
Oh, no, that was an actual article.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and throw that in the chat room. That's freedomslips.com. You can hit up our chat room there. You're missing half the show if you're not in the chat room, because that's where all the links get dropped. So yeah, grabbing that link. History, recently closed tabs. Good old Firefox. Here we go. All right. So what's up on the British front, man?
Well, there's this idea floating around from government about charging £10 a month for using the NHS, National Health Service, which is a little bit cheeky, really, I think. The National Health Service has been free for a very long time for everyone who's a UK citizen. And Someone at the door?
Yeah, Red Shifty just joined us, and Angela Black is back. Sorry about that. The doorbell, it's got a mind of its own.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
25, 30 minutes to be here.
You're late.
Yeah, I know. That was there beforehand. So seawater and health services.
Yeah, $10 a month. Is that for like universal health care, kind of like the Affordable Care Act here?
Yeah, the other ideas that were floating around was, tax sugar, because, the obesity kind of costs the health service so much, or smoking also does.
I'm sorry.
Didn't they ban what?
Large sodas, like you can't have a large soda in England or something?
No, I don't think
That's
so.
in New York.
That's New York? Okay, yeah, you can't buy it.
That's under Mayor Bloomberg. If you can get a little closer to your mic, that'd be great. Shifty, you're a little low.
All right.
There you go. You sound great now. But yeah, Mayor Bloomberg in New York basically put a ban on the size soda you can order because of the obesity problem. So it's like, why don't people just order two then if they want to remain in the same habit,
Yeah, exactly. But regarding the funny thing is, right, in the UK, they spend about 13% of tax government income on defence, and they spend less on health, and it seems the government is more interested in the business of killing people than the business of saving people. And I think the same goes over there in the States. It's probably actually nearly double that, so you probably spend nearly double what you do on the military compared to health over there. Last time I looked, So I find that a little bit ironic, that government spend more on killing people than they do on saving them. Just goes to show what's going on,
Well, Bruce McDonald seemed to be at idle for way too long, so I dropped him out of the conversation. Sorry about that, Bruce. If you got something to add to the conversation, call back. And anybody else out there, you got something on your mind that's burning a hole through you, 347-688-2902, 347-688-2902.
Or you can add Freedom Screen to your Skype.
Yeah, send a contact. We'll accept that contact, and then we can get you right in here.
And Rectify, so glad you're back.
Oh, I forgot to apologize for last week. Let me tell everybody what happened. I was puking. I was sick. I heard Wingman was sick also, which is kind of ironic. But I was sick, so I decided to take a nap about 3.5 hours before the show. I set the alarm for about an hour or so before the show, except I set it to AM instead of PM. So me and the wife slept through the entire thing, and I apologize. I hope there wasn't any dead air. I think Wingman took care of it, though. And I think Keith and also Mr. Travesty stepped in and made sure everything was smooth. So here at Revolution Radio, man, we all got each other's backs. That's an awesome thing.
It's true, and travesty gets a lot of crap from people, but I have to tell you that, here's a guy who shows up constantly for everybody. And I just really want to give Steve Travesty a shout out because I think that, I every time somebody's not around, there's travesty. Always. So I just want to give, Steve Travesty a big, hug, virtual hug. Because literally, the guy gets a lot of crap, but, who's always there, besides, of course.
He had a new trip around the earth that happened yesterday.
What?
It was his birthday.
Oh, yeah. Well, I gave him a happy birthday, but
I meant around the sun. I said the earth.
I'm like, trip around the earth, what?
Yeah. Global.
Cool. Anyway.
Happy birthday, cool. Travesty.
Yeah, and everyone. Happy birthday, everyone.
Unbirthdays as well.
So, and hey, Shift, what's up? Chickadoodle.
Your mic creeped again.
My bad.
Is it mine?
No.
It's mine this time.
There you go.
Yeah, make everybody sound good.
I'm an audiophile. I can't help it.
You can't help it. This is not.
Is that a
really...
PHILE?
Yes.
It is. I like to use a Y though. YLE.
Oh, PHYLE?
Yeah, I like to switch things up.
Okay, cool. Because I know you like the A in gray because of the number 1.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. I pay attention and stuff. I really
So how's the East Coast of the United States of the Corporation of America?
Very wet.
I read a story, I believe it was yesterday, that the chemtrails are now introducing over, what do they call it, Section 3, FEMA Section 3, where you live. They're releasing now lithium within the mix of the strontium, barium, and aluminum.
Strontium, barium, aluminum, and then now it's arsenic and
lithium.
Lithium. Yeah, it's great stuff. What can you do?
And that's how it explains the wet snow that is like collapsing all your trees and your roofs and all that.
Correct.
Yeah, they're calling it wet, heavy snow, and it's happening way above freezing temperature, like in the 40s even. It's like, how are we getting snow?
For sure. Like, that's what we get. And I'm so glad you mentioned that because it is bizarre, is it not? Like, I trip out. Like, I live in it. And do you guys, Bill Grant was bringing it up, because my husband talked to my neighbor who watched, a black chemtrail. And then there were like 30 chemtrails like around the same time. And then apparently a white chemtrail followed the black chemtrail. And so anyway, that was like 2 weeks ago. And it was like really bizarre. So now there's black ones. And Bill Grant, of course, is claiming, responsibility for such. But
SJ has joined the circle.
Nuh-uh.
What's going on, Big Daddy? You're on mute. He's got a Canadian mic. Excuse him.
Well, I'm writing a book called Waiting for Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
Because she still isn't home yet from Vancouver. Poor girl. But this is actually a lot easier. We've been doing this for years. If she comes in around the midnight hour, traffic is usually fairly good, fairly quick, not as dangerous when it gets nasty weather, eh? Especially nice. Whoa, baby.
You guys
Vancouver
have
is
wet, heavy snow up there too, along with the.
No, we're having beautiful spring weather, rain. We only had about 4 inches of snow this year, which is serious. That's a real change. I've never seen this dry a winter.
Yeah, we've had that here in Tahoe. It's apparently the driest winter and one of the warmest winters. Yeah. The eastern United States and the Midwest all got it, but the west side of the American continent, if you will, has really experienced a lot of dry weather and one of the warmest winters ever. It's so weird because here we saw such terrible winter conditions on the in the Midwest, in the middle of the country, and then of course on the East Coast. And so it's very odd to be on the same continent and in the same mindset, and yet watch drought happen in one area, and then complete gouashing, if you will, on the other parts of the continent. So it's very odd.
You betcha. I'll tell you, the interesting thing about this is, as negative as drought here in California growing areas, going to be fairly serious this year. We got an El Nino coming in this year. But one of the advantages is the fallout has been less than it would have been if we'd had a typical heavy rainfall winter. So in that way, it's a blessing that nobody's aware of, but it's significant. Radiation accumulates. Over. Fun thought, eh?
That's
hey,
a
Rich,
very
yeah.
Hi.
It's a very important thought about the radiation with the acid rain, as they used to call it, this, that, the other, and to think about what precipitation is going to come down with said radiation onto our land, etc. It's so cray-cray.
I got a two-headed tomato. There's like two tomatoes tied into one in my freezer from my garden from last season.
You have a garden?
Oh yeah, I do gardening.
The balcony.
I love gardening. I got all the stuff I'm going to be planting this week. So I'm
right.
Hey, Rich 50, your volume is so low we can't hear you.
I'm not saying much.
There you go.
As good as I can do.
Am I breaking up, or am I?
No, you're good.
No,
You're clean.
Thank God.
This isn't really on my phone. It's just a piece of aluminum foil that plugs directly into the...
Aluminum
Sounds
foil?
good.
Hat? Shiny side out?
Yeah.
So yeah, I threw seeds in yesterday. It was nice.
Yesterday. I'm so jealous. I was supposed to do it yesterday and I didn't. I'm lazy. Lay lazy.
For all I know, though, it's temperature's going to shift another 30 degrees within a day. I mean, it's been doing that back and forth.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's nar.
No.
Hey, well, my mason bees, the ones that we put out in a separate, more exposed to the temperature, little teeny nest box.
Mason bees, like bees?
Yeah, what they are is, what happened is, about 5 years ago, they took out a bunch of houses that had wonderful gardens, big trees, lots of bushes, lots of flowers, flowering bushes.
Who's the they? They took out.
The corporate housing menace.
Oh.
The bureaucracies.
Yeah, so they threw in, there were 5 homes and they put 80 houses in there. Well, they just stomped everything flat, period. That was it, flat. They dug a hole, went down to the clay, and basically the honeybees in the neighborhood disappeared. For 2 years, I had trees that were producing apples with no seeds in them, or little teeny remnants of seeds. And I'm going, wait a second, man, my tree used to produce these big fat seeds that you could sprout, right?
Wow.
So anyhow, what I did
That's so
is...
important, SJ. What you're saying right now is so important.
Einstein said once our bees disappeared, humanity only had like 3 years left.
And the seeds as well, seriously.
So what happened was me and Barbara started talking to... She does Saturday markets, so she had a guy that's a really well-known orchidist, and he says, well, if you don't want... you got to maintain bees. You got to fuss and bother with them. He says, if you want a no fuss and bother pollinator, get some mason bees. They're really calm. They don't bite. They're really cute. They're little black bees with a black mink stole around their shoulders. Little short furry stole. They're really cute. And they crawl on you. It's no problem. They don't bite. They don't sting.
I know the bee. I know the bee you're talking about, yes.
Yeah, mason bees. They're called mason bees because they use clay to put up a masonry wall using the clay at the end of their nest tube or crack. They like to put their kids in areas that will protect them from the rain and extremes of temperature. And then in the summer, the males break out first. They buzz around for about a day or 8 hours or 24 hours.
Those little
like
drones.
Speaking of like bees, you guys know wasps?
The females hatch and complete the cycle.
You guys know wasps? It's a fun fact of the day. Wasps actually go and they lay their eggs. They inject them into hornworms. The green worms with the big old horn on their butts that eat up your tomato plants. Yeah, they inject their eggs into those, and they actually incubate inside the hornworm. And once they turn into larvae, and hatch, they eat themselves out of the hornworm, and eventually become a wasp.
Rectify full of information.
You want to know something interesting about hornets? We have had a family of hornets that has moved their nest around. We can position them by putting up paper bags where they usually go, where it's a little bit too close to comfort for people that are in our patio. But when they're around, we have way less mosquitoes.
Those things are scary. I've seen a hornet. We sprayed it with like bug spray, and it committed suicide. It took its stinger and shoved it through its own head. I mean, it was like flapping around in the chemical and just offed itself. I thought
it's sad to kill. It's sad to kill.
Those things. If you've never been bit by one, it's not sad.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
well, we haven't been bit by a hornet in the last 15 years. I think I sort of came about 12 years ago. We were doing radio. And I had gotten into a position where I had gotten stung by a nest that was in my 48 Dodge four-door, which is stored in the backyard. And I told the folks I was blogging with, and we started to make it into a story where my hornets ended up driving my vehicles on secret missions. It was a wonderful little humoristic play that we put up with hornets as the heroes. I could dig that out. I copied that. I saved it, by gosh. That was just one of those things that pops up out of nowhere you have fun with,
like, I had an experience of Africanized honey bees, whatever those are, that whole thing. So I was living in Los Angeles, and we were facing, what was it, northeast, Bill? Were we facing northeast?
I'm sorry?
Were we facing northeast at the Barham thing?
You're probably facing towards Compton.
Anyway, we were facing, I think, northeast, and you're funny. And so, anyway, these bees apparently every 5 years would pop up into like different. I lived in this complex, was the Oakwoods. So like everyone who has been, will be, or will live in the Oakwood or whatever, and the Oakwood apartments, and it was the Hollywood Oakwood. So every Hillary Duff lived there, like all these people lived there. So anyway, I had this great apartment. And it was corner facing northeast, I think. And all these bees showed up. Well, one day I noticed all these bees like hitting the window, and I happened to be there, and I was on like the computer at the corner of the thing or whatever. And we had this great like balcony. So all these bees started hitting the balcony, and it was so cray-cray. Like, I mean, I say cray-cray, it's funny, but it's crazy is what I meant. So, and about 50 bees were hitting my window. So I'm like tripping out, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So then they all go away, and then about 3 hours later, they have like a pattern. It was like 10 a.m. Then they take a nap, and then they come back about 3 p.m. And then, so I tripped out. Like, I was like, oh my God, all these bees, blah, blah, blah. I was supposed to leave for the weekend. And then I came back, and this was like 1998-ish. Hold on, I'm losing my microphone. Anyway, and then, okay, so here we go. So I go to sleep, and then the next day I wake up, and now it's not 50 bees, it's like 300 bees. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? And thank God I didn't leave town because I had 2 cats at the time, and had I left the, little thing open, these cats were gonna get all stung. So then apparently there was some small hole that was leading to my fireplace, and they actually started to make a nest and fly into my home, through the fireplace.
Jeez.
Oh my God. So I'm like, so then they all take a nap. They take a nap, and I'm like, it's an omen, it's an omen. So they take a nap, and they all sleep from like 11 a.m. till like 2 p.m. Come back. It's really weird. And so then all of a sudden there's like 1,000 bees, and they're now flying in my fireplace. So I'm now running down the halls of the Oakwood apartments, and I'm like, because thank God I didn't leave because my cats would have been stung to death. So the people come in, and they paste a tarp over my fireplace for the next day. So the next day there's like 10,000 bees, and then there's like 1,000,000 bees. I mean, I'm telling you, they covered the balcony. It was so bizarre. I was like, oh my God, it's an omen. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So then unfortunately, and I don't want I don't want the depopulation of bees to happen. Like, I don't want that.
Oh, no way.
But so the guys come in, and they're like, well, okay, they were literally going to pull this tarp off of my fireplace, because I'm like running down the halls. Like, I'm like, they gave me a commemorative mug to like,
commemorative for Africanized bees didn't get me.
Here's a mug. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I remember that.
I survived.
A star on your forehead, sticker.
So the end of the story is that it's sad. It's a sad ending. So, all right, did
you keep the screen rights?
Well, no, and I did take some pictures, and it's funny. But my phone at the time, it was like 1998, so I didn't have a lot of memory on my phone, and I only got a few pictures, which I still do have to this day. But okay, so the next day, like day 3, they literally are coating the inside of this tarp, like this. Of the tarp of the fireplace that they have taped on there. And then they come in, because I'm literally running down the house going,
The easiest way to take care of it is to just use smoke and then a vacuum and then release them.
They bring a wet vac in,
and they go somewhere else.
Other places in the same exact positioning of my apartment, like in other words facing northeast on that balcony thing. Like, other people were getting it too, but mine was apparently some type of revisitation plantation of, bee land. So,
you probably feel good to bees. See, your emanations are probably so kind and gentle and tuned to nature that the bees just selected you because you're cool to hang out with.
Genetically modified, hybridized
well,
bees.
Do you want the bad ending, or should I just stop the story?
No. Skip over the slaughter part.
Yeah, it's terrible, but they took a wet vac, and it was really sad. And What?
You know what I would have done? I would have filled a vac with mothballs.
Yeah.
And blown it in there for like 3 minutes, shut it off. Blown it in another 3 minutes. I think they'd have got the message and left.
Yeah, just light the fireplace. They don't like smoke, so.
Yeah.
You guys heard?
Gas and blow it up.
You guys heard of that case in Illinois where the feds raided a beekeeper's hives and seized them all under the false claim that they had some sort of a bee virus thing. But the interesting thing is this gentleman with the hives has been doing 15 years of research on and providing documented evidence, which they also seized, on how Roundup kills bees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
In a big way, and it's a Roundup. Let me add a little bit of stuff here for those who haven't been keeping up with it closely. What they found is that, first of all, it's all being used under a permit. It hasn't passed any safety certifications, blah, 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 blah. It's out there under a temporary permit.
Isn't Roundup and Agent Orange have like a real close relationship chemically?
Yes, and a great point, Wingman, and great additive SJ, and yes, Rectify. Yeah.
And I'm not done. The half-life of it is 19 years in your soil.
I thought it was 30. I thought it was 30.
It's, well, all that stuff varies. It's hard to nail it down.
Yeah.
The story I read said 19 years, and that was in terms of how it affected bees. And we have been having 40 to 60% average bee kill-offs, depending on the area and the type of crop.
Population of bees. So sad.
Oh, yeah, boy, I talked to not so bad up here in Canada. Much worse for you guys down there that are hooked up to Monsanto.
Doesn't Monsanto own Roundup too?
Yes.
Well, there's a number of companies that are involved with the whole GMO issue, and that's probably an important thing to bring up now.
Dow,
DuPont.
They're all right down the street.
Second fun fact of the day, DuPont, they were the inventor of the nylons you ladies wear on your legs, right? The first nylons The first nylons they made, they sent home with their scientists to have their wives test out. They came to find that they were indestructible. They were so strong, they could tow vehicles with another vehicle with just the nylons as the tow line. So they had to reinvent it to make it into planned obsolescence. So they would rip and tear so they can continue to sell. But the original nylons were indestructible.
Look at you.
Screw you, DuPont.
Yeah. And then PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Nestle, like I said, Dow, Bayer, all these companies are using, corn, genetically modified corn, and, oil and this type of stuff in general. It's crazy. I don't even know.
So why do you guys think that, genetic modification is so high on the agenda with, not just with Monsanto, but obviously you got people like the FDA trying to prevent natural remedies from getting through or being used.
You control the food, you control the people.
Right.
And if you want to get rid of you want to scrape the bottom of the classes, the poor, to help cull off population through the eugenics Agenda 21 thing, you're going to go after the food and make it more expensive and make it less available.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that won't be too hard.
I guess the bottom line is money, Wingman. Money. Seriously. Like, if you really want to go there, it's all about the money.
What's happening here is that the West Coast is losing a lot of its infrastructure. A lot of it's getting old, coming apart. A lot of it, where the guy building it skimped, it's really starting to show now, 50 years later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Good
so
point.
we lost a bridge going on Route 5, which is our major north-south. So that changed truck routing for the better part of a month. And that was enough of a disruption that it was starting to show up in the stores and the grocery stores. We got a tremendous amount of imported food in the United States we got to think about. Over.
Yeah, you're so close, right? To the border. I mean, you're pretty close.
Oh, yeah, 4 miles.
Yeah, exactly. And the 5, is the Golden State Freeway, something like that, down here. And, it shuts down here and there at Castaic, when there's, snow issues, etc. But yeah, that's the north-south, interstate, if you will. And, I guess it, continues on to Canada. I don't know. I'm not really, part of that whole thing.
break time. We're going to promo the station. We'll be back in about 4 minutes. Stick around. Listening to The Gray Zone.
We'll be right back after this message.
Who owns you? If you're not in control, then someone else is. Join me, Ivy West, for Voices on the Wind, Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in Studio A. I discuss government, health, metaphysics, suppressed science, universal mysteries, little-known incredible facts, alternative energies, and even more than you can imagine. Won't you join us on Revolution Radio Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern for Voices on the Wind with me, Ivy West.
There are lives in the balance, people under fire, children at the cannons.
Because if your head's in the sand, your tail is a target.
Hi everybody, it's me, The Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there's Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, The Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
I have worked with the CIA, NSA, Templars, and Bilderbergers. Now I work for you. My show will disclose secrets of science and esoteric knowledge. Join me, Stephen D. Kelly, for 2 hours every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio A. You can also listen to previous shows by going to youtube.com/Free Revolution Radio.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning.
We are far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago.
Zero corners, all hands man your battle stations.
You're nervous, count your toes. I'll do the mastermind around here.
You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top.
Bam, check it out every Tuesday and Saturday on Revolution Radio. It's a double dose of the internationally recognized renegade military historian Douglas Dietrich.
You'll stay right where you are until I tell you to move out.
Yeah, that's right. Tuesdays from 10 to midnight Eastern Time. Join Douglas Dietrich as he exposes the truth in hidden history on his show Critical Omissions. And then our human weapon of mass destruction is back once again to take your calls on Saturday Night Firing Lines. Both from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. UFOs to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to the TheGrayZone RoundTable, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. No corporate ties, corporate duct tape dictating our freedom of speech. It shall remain that way as long as we are supported by you. Join us, 347-688-2902. Enter the Gray Zone.
Revolution-radio.com.
Hello peeps and welcome back to Revolution Radio. You're listening to the TheGrayZone RoundTable. As you well know, we are 100% listener supported, which means if you don't send us some money, you'll get dead air, which hopefully won't happen if you send us some money. So I'm not asking you to sell your family into bondage, but or don't send any money to those evangelists, because God doesn't need your money, but we do. So try and send us some money if you can. And we were talking about, remind me what we were talking about?
We were talking about bees, recipes, Monsanto, chemtrails, food control, eugenics, population control, Roundup, seeds, and basically how much we're getting screwed in nature, how much mankind is getting greedier than it has been in a long time in history, as far as I can see. So yeah, we're joined with my co-host Wingman. This is Rectify. We got SJ from British Columbia, Angela Black, and Mrs. KC Red Shifty. So, yeah.
Brilliant speakers all. By God.
Hey, so
hey, Wingman.
Sorry. I've just got to bring up that there's a call going on another Skype, and they were asking me to come in. I'm like, no, dude, we're on air. So we might be getting stormed very shortly.
Sweet. Ha. Everybody's welcome. We got like 10 chairs open.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay.
Who was that? I thought I heard someone say Wingman then. Who was that? Was that SJ?
Yes.
What
never mind. Never mind. Wasn't that important.
Okay.
It was good to hear a bit of laughter here. My little mason bees have continued to multiply. We originally started out with 5 bees, and we probably have 100 nest tubes. I've been trying to give them away to people on the station, but nobody has taken me up on it. On the other hand, what I'm going to do pretty soon here is set them up, last year's full tubes, and I basically drive around, find a nice place with water, a little bit of mud, some place that looks like it's going to stay wet through the start of the spring and the late spring, and I put my nest tubes up with empty tubes underneath them, just taped together, and I hang them in a really good sheltered place in the sun so that they're facing the south. And they, everywhere I do it, I try to find a spot that looks like it's a little dry, right, that doesn't have a lot going on with its flowering shrubs, right, little dull.
What attracts the bees to the tubes? Is there like something, a chemical or a hormone you put in them or something?
No. What you do is you put them adjacent.
Sugar.
No, don't need to do anything like that. What they are is they're actually tubes that are used for making firecrackers. So I buy 500 of them at a time. And what you do is you tape the full ones with empty ones, usually a little bit more. Pardon me, dear?
Firecrackers?
Yeah, they're empty firecracker
So they're
tubes.
cardboard tubes.
They're cardboard tubes.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
And nice and clean. You got to protect your mason bees from fungal infection and little red critters that tend to chew on the eggs. So what you do is you put it in a place that'll stay dry through the winter, because they got a winter over. And you put in about twice as many nest tubes as the full tubes, because
so you're making a nest, like a bee's hive, out of all these tubes.
Yes, and they've already used previous tubes for that generation. I'm preparing for the next generation. I try to put it in a place where there's going to be some kind of areas for them to go to after they use up my tubes this year. Then they're in the wild, and they'll spread out. They cover about 1,500-foot circle from their nest tube. That's a pretty good sized area, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They do about 3,000 pollinations per day. Is that a cool little bee? Yeah. And they're so tame. I mean, I don't mind having them land and occasionally call on me.
Oh, you've been joined. The front door. Hey, hijacker, come on in. Take a seat, buddy. How you doing?
Nuh-uh.
Hey, gang.
What?
You're really hot, Jacker.
Yeah, am I loud or not loud?
It's just to adjust. If you talk for a little bit, it'll adjust you.
I brought along my handy mic. I'm going to try it. So
You're fine. It adjusted.
Hi, hijacker.
How you doing, Angela? How's your show going?
It's going fine, thanks. I had David Black on today. We had a good show. So.
It's tough, Angela.
What's that?
It's tough doing daily.
Oh, you know that I know that you know that I know that you know.
That we both know.
And you did it, and I'm so proud of you for that run. It was huge, and I've done it. I've done it, and I'm back in it. And I took a year off, man, a year, and I had to. I could not come back just because of the amount of mental effort. And so I'd just like to point out that, let's look at Nighthawk, the owner of the station, and bring up how much this man must go through every single day. You know what I mean? Like, it just freaks me out. Like, I don't even know how he deals with all of our personalities and shows up every day, all the time. Because that I know that we burn out. We burn. And, you really, what did you do? Like, how many shows did you do, dude? Like, seriously, like.
He was up to almost 300, I think.
Yeah, it was heavy.
Yeah, well, I talked to Nighthawk, and one time, I didn't talk to him much, but, he mentioned that there's a lifespan for a talk show host. Did you know that, Angela?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he guesstimated it was anywhere from 14 to 18 months, a year and a half. And then he was saying that I had gone longer than most. And I thought to myself, what are we, like soldiers? We have lifespans? I mean, and you die, we all die. So, there's a lifespan to people, especially doing a daily show.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because it gets under your skin. Like, you tend to, repeat yourself a lot, if not repeat something that was broadcasted earlier. So subconsciously, you're like, oh, this has already been talked about so many times. But yeah, people don't understand that. Like, different time slots, there's different people listening. So repetition's not, always a bad thing because you're talking to different audiences.
Yeah, it depends on the subject matter, I think, but yeah. Anyway, what's up, Hijacker?
Well, no, I called in because it's I guess there's only really one thing to talk about, and that's the beginning of the end. I mean, they got their.
There's only one thing to talk about.
What
did you just say? Are we supposed to accept that carte blanche?
Okay. Well, give me a chance to respond. Give me 30 seconds. You want to go 30?
Give him 90. Give him 90.
Okay, so here we go. The reason why we know it's the beginning of the end. They have all the pieces in place. They got the Russian troops on the border of Ukraine. They got NATO. They're moving in there. We got the Grand Cardinal Cross, which hasn't happened in eons, happening the 23rd, 24th. We got these blood moons coming up. We got the Pacific Ocean that's polluted. We got the bees that are dying. We got the stuff that they're spraying in the air. We got a food shortage. They got total control of the weather. They can create drought or cold or rain or whatever they want to at will. They got the FEMA camps built. Looks like they got everything except the lunch, and it looks like we're the lunch.
They still got to make their move though, and I wanted to welcome Noreen Helpand.
Hey, how you guys doing? We're talking about can I say something about Hijacker? We're talking about that Grand Cross. That's coming up at the end of the month. That is pretty historical. Be interesting, but
where's that echo?
I don't know. Is it me?
No, I think it's Hijacker.
I think so too.
Anyway, go on. Go on.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen on my birthday. Like the 16th is my birthday, but
and the 15th is the opposition, the blood moon, the
lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
Super cray.
Yeah.
You know what? Realize with this Noreen, this Grand Cardinal
Cross, yeah.
Cardinal Cross or whatever. I can't ever get it right. But this hasn't happened before. How long now? They took Solarium back and they couldn't find it when it happened before. Do you know when's the last time it happened?
You know what? I don't know. Am I the one echoing? I think it's.
Hey, Jacker, go ahead and mute up when you're not talking because you are echoing back.
Yeah, I have, I go on certain websites and I subscribe to Mountain Astrologer, and they didn't, which is pretty thorough magazine, but they didn't specify the last time this happened, but it has been a long time, and really, the Cardinal Grand Cross, but we had something like it back in the 1930s. So during the era of the Depression, we did have, cardinal, configurations in the sky happened during the Depression. So, it's kind of like that's repeating a sort of a similar cycle economically a little bit too. In a sense, it's kind of mirroring it.
Right. Well, the whole thing is the astrologers. They're either going to make or break it now. In other words, if something doesn't happen astronomically as far as astrology, then the whole stuff is nothing but bunk. In other words, this is so big and monumental, this alignment, and it's so rare that something has to happen. If it does not happen, then that calls into question whether, the planets and the moon and all the rest of the time clock of God.
I gotta say something though. Oh gosh, the echo. You gotta mute.
Yeah, mute up, Jacker. Until you get a headset because it picks up on your monitor speakers and it feeds back. But we've been joined by 3 more guests at the round table. We have Julie with us, Dory Bar, what's up, girl?
Hi, babe.
And Nick, what's up, big dog?
We all had a private call and they're like, let's just call in the show and Barbara.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Noreen.
Hi,
Angela.
Hi, Angela.
What up?
Okay, you guys, I don't mean to interrupt anybody. I just have to say this last thing about what he said. I have to say this because I'm not a professional astrologer. I don't make a living off it, but I'm kind of one. But I heard another astrologer say on a show the other night that one of the important things about this Cardinal Grand Cross is that the effects of it could happen soon after, or sometimes these things take about a year to happen too. So you could have a delayed effect where it takes a year to where you see the effects. I just want to let you guys know that.
So what do you do about it then? What if
No, hijacker. I was just replying back to hijacker.
Oh, I didn't hear the whole thing.
Oh,
Sorry,
he was just mentioning about, the rarity of this grand Cardinal Cross coming up at the end of the month. And it's true, it doesn't happen much often, but, the effect may not happen. It could happen right away or a year, and that's just what I wanted to do.
Wasn't there like a Jewish holiday and a Christian holiday that hasn't happened in like 800 years that just happened last year? That coincided?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of it right now, but you're right.
All right. I think it was Thanksgiving and Passover?
Yeah, it hit each other.
Moons coincide with a Jewish holiday, or some holiday. A couple of them are Jewish, whatever. But they all four coincide. It's the first time in thousands of years. Noreen, correct me if I'm wrong, or hijacker, or whoever. But it's the first time in a very long time that all these things coincide.
Yes.
And I don't disagree with you, Noreen, in that everything. Oh, hi, Pete.
Hi, Pete.
In that everything, this is all, we can all sit and wait until this star crosses that star and it'll happen but here's what I think. I think that we're all feeling something coming. We're feeling it. Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I am.
We're all going through like crap right now. I think we all.
For sure.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I want to welcome our CHP retired
Pete. It's PDP. AKA Rectify's father.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
He's so handsome.
He is.
Hey, Dad. Just don't embarrass me, Dad. Hey, okay.
Wingman. He's all our dad. Back off, Wingman.
That's why I don't have my camera on right now.
Good. Yeah, because we're on the air.
Let's see the video.
Yeah. I don't want to steal bandwidth. Yep.
He's such a cop. I want to see what you look like.
He's such a cop.
He trusts no one.
Have you ever taken your nightstick out and beaten someone when you were a cop?
Taken or taken? I've taken my nightstick out. I've never taken my nightstick out.
Okay, excuse me. Have you ever taken your nightstick out and beaten someone?
We didn't call them nightsticks. We call them baton.
Yeah.
PR-24s, actually.
Did you ever take your PR-24 and beat someone?
Only one person.
That's confidential. If he told you, he'd have to kill you, and he doesn't want to do that. You're his kid.
Only one time. That was a pursuit with like 23 illegal aliens on board.
Ooh.
The van. And they got off the freeway at La Paz Road in Mission Viejo, bailed into a park. And I saw the driver, and I went after the driver, the coyote. And I clubbed him in the back of right behind the rear of the kneecap. I didn't hit his kneecap. I hit the back of the knee to bring him down.
Why didn't you just tackle him?
No, I hit him first. I would hit him first, too.
Hit him first.
I would have sued.
The guy would have
sued.
I know what you would have done.
Coyote can't sue. I mean, coyote means that he smuggles those people in. So he's
a driver. Coyote's a driver. Yep.
Yeah.
The reason he hit him in the back of the knee is
in the van.
All right, one at a time, guys.
Okay, I'm sorry. But the reason that Pete hit the guy in the back of the knee is because if he had hit him anywhere else, the guy would have sued and won.
That's right.
Well, you know what? So far, if you look at what's going down with the serious cop beatings, the cops are all getting away with it. I'll tell you what, where I live, we have had maybe 5 or 10 bank robberies in the last, I'll give it, say, 8 years. And every one of those bank robbers are dead before the end of the night. They do not stop to ask. They do not stop to arrest. They shoot them dead.
Right, like the Albuquerque homeless guy that was camping out in the hills.
Yeah,
they shot him up, and then after he was already down with 5 bullets in him, they started beanbagging him.
Oh.
And then they sent a dog. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Wow.
It's the militarization of our police.
Right, order of operation is kind of off there.
The police.
No, but I hit this guy in the back of the knee, not the patella.
Right.
Yeah.
I could have struck the patella.
You could
He went down, and it was all good. So, right on.
Only 3 places that we could not strike with a baton. That was the sternum, the head, and the clavicle.
How about the groin?
Oh,
Fair game.
Oh, and the groin. Okay. No, you couldn't hit the clavicle. You couldn't hit the sternum, the head, or the groin.
All right, Dad. The topic Jacker brought to the table was: is this the beginning of the end? As far as like everything going on in Russia, the Ukraine, Crimea, all the chemtrails, all the tank movements, all the military movements. What do you think?
I've been talking about that for 10 years.
Oh, you think it's all Planet X, right?
Planet X related, yep.
Pete,
is Hijacker still here?
Yeah. Where are you getting your information? Where's your officer? What do I call you?
Pete.
Pete.
It was my dad's name. Pete. Do you have any inside information or any knowledge? The reason why you believe
any inside information. When you get time, go to a website called ZetaTalk.com.
Oh, Nancy Lighter, huh? The one that ate her dogs like 5 years ago?
No, they've been on the internet since 1995, and almost all their predictions have been accurate.
She's a crazy lady. Her name's Nancy Lighter. She runs a site called Zeta Talk, and she claims. Let me finish. She claims that she is in a contactee with the I don't know, Andromedans or Palladians or Zeta whatever, one of these alien races, and they give her all these details, and this website is so full of links. Like, every page you go to has got at least 50 links on it that goes to another 50 pages. COINTELPRO. My dad
it is a very in-depth website.
That to be a source. I hate to say it, but I've been saying that for years.
Every prediction they've made has been accurate.
Why did she eat her dogs and want everybody? She said that it was coming around back in 2003 or something, and like you got to eat your dog.
Did you say why did she eat her dogs?
Yeah, something crazy like.
Rectify. A lot of people eat dog. Okay, it's just that we don't hear in America.
We're not from China. We're not from China. We're Americans.
I have eaten a dog. I have eaten dog.
Oh, how lovely.
Well, I have to tell you, you know, on a very hungry moment, I can't say that I wouldn't eat dog.
Do you have any other sources?
And that's sad.
I would be a vegan. I would never do it.
Oh, I don't know.
No way. No freaking way would I do it.
Honey bunny.
Well, you do know dogs would eat you if they were hungry too, by the way.
I don't give a shit. Excuse me. I wouldn't give a crap.
And Noreen, I agree. I'm sorry. You know, I just Dory.
It's me.
I agree.
Not my baby. No way.
I wonder, you know, what I would do in a hungry situation. You know,
what I would do?
You know,
I would
because,
put a bullet to my head. I would end it.
I know Jews, I know Muslims, and you know, I know people that don't eat pork, and I think that they're all lying to themselves because I know we all like bacon. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
How do you not like bacon?
I'll tell you what I do.
But anyway. So at the end,
I'll tell you what I would do is I would change the subject away from eating my pets to talking about Nostradamus and the Grand Cross. Now, what you guys were saying earlier is slightly off of the established or the older mythos with the Grand Cross. So I recommend that you read the links that I've given you in chat and the Skype chat and see how that fits with what you know currently about it or have been told about it.
What's another
not necessarily correctly.
What's another word for a cross? It's an X, right? Okay.
Thank you so much for interrupting me.
Well, it's my show, excuse me.
I know. I will.
Touche.
Hijacker?
Where's the gong? We need a gong.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Wait, can I talk?
Absolutely, ladies.
SJ, you take a breath and I'm jumping in because I know you'll be right there.
I will. I love you. Go ahead.
Hijacker, you still on the call, babe? Jacker.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I'm just muted.
Okay, listen, I know everybody thinks you're doom and gloom, but come on. That's not so much true because there is a lot of doom and gloom and you bring a lot of insight to it. So I'm interested. I personally am interested to hear, Jacker, you come in and you give us 30 seconds of things to think about and I check all this stuff out. And,
I agree.
Pete, I go to Zeta Talk. I check everything out and then I figure it out on my own. SJ, I can't figure out cars. You're a good car guy. I don't get all that. Wait, you took a breath. It's Hijacker's turn.
We talked for about 15 seconds. Everybody goes on for like 10 at a time. So I'm going to take any opportunity I want to illuminate people that are discussing things that they've got slightly wrong. So give me a break.
Take a break. Hijacker, you're up.
Short and concise, and I tell you when I'm done by saying over.
Okay, over.
Jacker, go ahead and Julie, I guess, had a question for you, brother. Or at least she reserved her time to you. She didn't take much.
Yeah, I would like to hear what Hijacker came in with. I would really like to hear that.
He just dropped. Wonderful.
All right.
Look at the karma work.
Imagine.
Wingman, you've been quiet. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, where's Wingman?
I'm just thinking about the doom and gloom and taking my antidepressants at the same time.
Really? Like, it's all doom and gloom now?
So we're gonna take inhibitors?
Wingman, that was hilarious. Well played.
If you want doom and gloom, skip your antidepressants for a day, and then you'll see.
She's a nurse, Wingman.
How is this?
She's a nurse.
And I'm on them.
Yeah, she could pass us out all kinds of stuff.
If you want to have some serious dreams, don't take those pills.
I have serious dreams every day. You know.
Yeah, my dreams have been really lucid, and what's been weird is they've been having distractions to where it'll make me toss and turn in my mind, like these puzzles that come into my mind that don't make any sense to me, and I try to ignore them, and they're right back in my face, and I'll just toss and turn. It's like these puzzles.
I live it. I live that.
I never dreamt like that before in my life, though.
It's not
lucid.
Yeah.
If you're dreaming about puzzles, that normally indicates you're ill. That's what I find with myself. No, seriously.
No, it is true.
One of the classic.
That's so true. Yeah, it's classic.
One of the classic ones is, I'll have to put boxes in a certain position, and if I don't get the boxes right, it's really important that I put these boxes in a certain sequence, and that's when I'm ill. That's
OCD. That's different, dude.
OCD. I've been dreaming of gold and silver. Diamonds and rubies and
that means you're
all jewelry.
About Bitcoin and the collapse of the dollar. No, just joking.
No, actually, it was a rich dream, actually, but it was just funny because I'm like, I don't want this crap, and I pushed it all up in a little bucket and I gave it to this lady. I said, you better take care of your stuff. If you're doing this business, why would you leave it on the floor?
All right, Jacker's back. We lost him, but yeah, Julie was asking Jacker a question. I don't think he got your question, Julie, because he was disconnected.
Well, Hijacker, it wasn't a specific question. It was just what are you bringing to us right now? What's your latest?
What's your thing? Yo,
Jacker.
Muted.
Okay, here I am.
Yes.
Oh, I got lots of stuff, but I mean, there's so many people on the call. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 people. Wow.
Okay, this is for you. Go with the top 3 real quick.
Yeah. We're on you now.
Get your top 3 index cards, the ones that are most bold.
Well, actually, if you want I've been talking about the economic one where the commercial real estate is about to collapse. Something like 1,000 Radio Shacks are closing.
I heard you.
Oh, I just watched a documentary on hundreds of malls that are just vacant and ghost towns.
Go on.
Okay, what's number 2?
And that's really big. And then we got this turns out this guy came from the Illuminati. He went through the ritual abuse as one of the Illuminati bloodline children.
Who's that?
And he was one of the peoples that overthrew the military and forcing the military to accept Wiccans, Satanists, Druids, all these different other religions besides the top ones. And then he came out, and he basically says that the Illuminati card deck is completely true, and they've planned this out, and
Do you have that
they've
guy's
made
name?
it. Yeah, it's Doc Requester, and I think it's a God production. It's a God thing productions.
Godlike
Thing
Productions.
Yeah, but they're doing it in charge of made by the Illuminati. They're made by a human, like a regular person.
No, it's a God thing productions 777.com.
Do you think?
Okay, hijacker. All right, can I ask you what's your third thing, and then can I say something? Go ahead. What's your third thing? All right, Jacker, listen, you are using some of the most questionable sources as your resources. Before it's news and Godlike Productions, you really got to look further than that. That is not, that's not serious reporting. You got to go further than that, please.
No, they're all on the same freaking pathway right there. You got to have triangulation from different areas.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, but see, who am I speaking with?
Julie.
Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Yeah.
See, Julie, what most people don't have is that because I've been at this such a long time, I'm sort of at the top of the mountain or the hill in the sense that I know how to think. In other words, I know the true reality of this world. And once you know that, if somebody says something to you, all you have to do is just run it through the accumulated knowledge of your grid. And you can pick it off real easy, whether it's true, whether it's not true.
The accumulated knowledge of your grid.
I like that too, Angela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I also have a grid, and I also have accumulated knowledge. But Jacker, those are not the end all, do all resources. Before it's news and Godlike Productions, it's just not reliable sources.
No, you got to pick those two apart.
I use
really.
more than that, Julia.
Nonetheless,
I use more than that.
Okay.
But Julia,
Okay.
let me just run a test. I'm going to run a test on to see how far up the political mountain, or how if you know the true reality.
Okay.
So, do you think that there are reptilian human hybrid shapeshifters, people that are possessed by something on us?
Hey, hijack.
Yes, I do.
All this that you're talking about, it's like communism mixed in with fascism, mixed in with control, right? Like, I mean, they're even pushing the gay mafia, right? There's a gay mafia out there that'll whack you, right?
Of course.
I got a clip I want to play. I mean, this is what they're pushing on all the children. Check this clip out. This is Bill Maher.
Hold on. That's yesterday.
What do you think of the Mozilla CEO having to step down over his donation to pro-Proposition 8 group? Yeah, the Mozilla, which I'm wearing right now.
Firefox.
I didn't know what Mozilla was. I saw it on my computer, but it's Firefox, right? It's the browser. Okay. So this guy apparently does not want gay people to get married, and he had to step down. What do you think of that? The question is.
Because he gave $1,000 8 years ago, and it's come back to haunt him.
Well, and he gave it when President Obama still was against gay marriage, so I don't think it's very fair.
Good point. Also, I think there is a gay mafia. I think if you cross them, you do get whacked. I really think
definitely a gay mafia.
Do we have a laugh track?
What? Right?
Losers are normally whiners. These are winners. So.
Well, now Pete's going to go into...
Winners are whiners.
We got to be PC a little bit there. We got to keep it kind of G there, Pete.
Pete's going to talk about the gay thing. Pete, relax a bit.
No,
relax.
Usually losers whine.
And
they won because Proposition 8 was overturned, and they're still whining.
Well,
going after people that donated
look at history.
8 years ago.
They always they demoralize family units. They demoralize what is given by religious code. They try to take that apart and dissect it and make those that believe in their religious beliefs the demons, and the demons actually the saints. They reverse it all. It's all really Orwellian, and we're going through it now.
Yeah. I believe you. You're right.
Yeah, but to follow up, Julian, I'll just let you know, there's a difference between somebody looking into an atrium and versus a person that's inside the atrium.
Oh.
Can I be heard?
I have a question for Hijacker. Because we always... Like, there's like reptilians. You understand this, right? So now all of a sudden we see them and like just freak out, right? What if we just
I
freaked
didn't
out?
freak out when I met.
All right, well, I'm just saying. But he's talking about them, so it was like, do you understand that, there's this and that? Yeah, we understand that. We totally get it that they're in the Earth. We understand they've been here way many billions of years before our butts came here. I understand the concept. Wouldn't you freak out, though? Like, hey, what's up? You're eating babies. Yay!
I have a friend that's a reptoid, right? Okay, I've talked about it before on the air. Actually,
I think we have reptilians in the White House.
Jacker.
Oh, of course.
I agree.
Anyways, he's my friend still, and I've prayed for him, like, to have a forwarding address, because he looked at me once before with a really sad face and said, rectify, we don't have a forwarding address. And I said a prayer in Jesus' name for him to have a forwarding address, because I don't believe that anything is cast in stone. So, I don't know, man. I'm not scared of them. I know there's evil in every being.
I've met a kind reptilian, I have to tell you. I've met a kind reptilian shapeshifter. Okay, just one.
I met a bad one, so.
So, I mean, I've met bad ones, and I met one good one, and I have to tell you that, to this day, I still don't dislike the guy. He actually gave me a break in life, and we, because, they find me, they look at me, the alien, reptilian shapeshifters, if you will, they look at me as a breeder, because I'm very breeder-esque,
Did I not say that to Lioness the other night? Did I say they called me a breeder?
You must have a cute butt,
I did not know
Angela.
that. I did.
They called me a breeder.
Know that. I'm a breeder.
They call us all breeders.
No, you have no idea. I was in a gay bar. They called me a breeder. It was New Year's Eve 2 years ago, and I saw this demon. And I went, oh, hell no. So I got up. My husband was like, oh, what are you doing? I went towards this guy. Now, all my friends in the bar, like the bartenders, the owner, we're all friends. And I'm looking at this guy. And I said, I said, you don't belong here. And he said to me, he was like, psst, like that noise they make. Totally. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now, I never came in contact with a demon before. I mean, I see angels, I see all kinds of dead people and stuff. That was nothing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you SOB. I said, you don't belong here. You better leave right now because you're picking up on the gay energy, and I'm not going to have anything to do with this. Well, I'm in a gay bar, right? I'm waiting for my husband to get off work. And all of a sudden, all my friends are going, can you read me? Can you read me? Can you read me? And there's all of them. All the gay guys are around. And this SOB was right behind one of my friends. And his whole face changed. And I went, no, I'm not drunk. I just got here like an hour ago. I had like 2 beers. I had to think about this. I'm like, maybe I am trashed. Maybe I'm like messed up and I'm just seeing things that I never saw before. No, I wasn't.
I understand.
And so I called my friends after I told them to leave.
You saw him shift into an alien?
No, I saw him a demon. It wasn't an alien. It was a demon.
I've met them too. I've met them.
I mean, reptilian.
Yeah, it wasn't reptilian. I met reptilians.
Remember, guys, they're all Nephilim. They were all, their first job given by God was to be his servants to watch over the earth and make sure his creation, which was man, was kept in line,
Right, but you see
so they can be your worst enemy or your best friend. They are here. Most definitely.
Oh, they're definitely here. And
they're definitely here, but where they came from is questionable. We can talk about that all night long. When there's a break, I would love to ask another question of Jacker.
I was really hoping to just let Dory.
We haven't heard from Nick at all. I really wanted to hear from Nick.
Go ahead, Nick. You're on.
Throw you the mic, brother.
Dory, I want that story.
I'll tell you after.
Yeah, you know what? You guys go ahead. Keep going. I'm listening.
I just really want the end of that story.
Well, I crucified him. Literally.
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah, but I never saw it before, so I was like, when you get like so nervous. I mean, being intuitive is a whole other ball game, and I'm used to it. People come to me all the time. I'm like, my husband's like, leave her alone. She just wants to have a beer and just leave her alone. If I'm in a bar scene, it never ends. And my best friend was a bartender going, I really didn't believe what you said. And I said, watch this. I'll just sit here and have a beer, watch. And they come up to me. They just start like, they swarm against you, And I do it all the time. I help friends. Yeah, I help friends and stuff.
Freaking me out.
I never pay. I never ask for any money. That's not my life. I was a banker. I never did this but I've been this way since I was a baby. I never changed my ways. But as soon as I got older, I got stronger, and I started studying, got stronger and stronger and stronger. But one time to see
you
that
didn't know
one
the
time,
other way, that's all.
Right? But I never knew a demon actually in the vicinity. I knew when people were attached with a demon, what was an astral thing. I never seen one face to face.
Oh,
to see it face to face, I kind of did the freak out. So my husband's like in the corner, he's working. Obviously, goes, "Oh God, oh Christ is going to come off the cross. I could see it right now. Here we go." He goes, and then my best friend's a bartender going, "Uh-oh, she sees something." I said, "Do you see what I see?" And my best friend bartender goes, "I don't see it, but I know you're looking at it." I said, "You don't see him? Can anybody see him?" And then I started asking everybody, "Do you see that?" And I started pointing them out. You better leave.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, all by myself. I'm all alone. It was like time stood still, and I remember pointing him out. You better leave right now. You're taking up gay energy. Don't do it, because that's what they come to. Gay energy, lesbian energy, whatever it is, drug addicts. They always go to that energy.
Yeah.
And, well, I heard about it. I mean, I studied this stuff, but I'd never seen it,
Right,
First time in my life.
I never looked for it either. And then
No, I never looked for it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for
But
sure.
you know what the funny part about it is? Once he did leave, thank you, Jesus, and I did that. I was like, "Thank you, Jesus, all you owe you one. I owe you one. Boy," you don't know what to say. And then I saw a million of them after the fact. It was like they all came.
You pissed them
If I
off.
walked down the street, I saw them. If I walked,
Oh,
out of the
yeah,
house,
honey.
the grocery store, I saw them all. They all showed themselves. And I'm going I'm a freak. I'm like, I'm not drinking, I'm doing it, I'm totally sober, I'm normal.
Yeah.
And you're looking around going, and I would go to the store so fast. With my car, my husband goes, "Do you want me to come with me?" No, I'll do it by myself. I just run to the store, get my groceries, and get the heck out as fast as I can. Because if you don't know, you know, Angela, but not a lot of people know that. And when you know that, you know it, because you could feel them behind you.
It's weird.
And I had them
You're
come
not
up
looking.
behind me.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Get your light." And I said, "I got a light, that's right. And you even mess with me, I'll kick your butt right now. Right now in
you're
here."
Stronger. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like, I've had it. Like, I've done that.
Well, I got scared for
hey,
2
ladies.
minutes.
Okay, so you're used to this because you've been doing it all your life. And you're intuitive and psychic and whatnot. But for most of us that are not used to this, and that's why I relate a little bit to Hijacker, because he panics over all the news. Well, I do that too. And so in the process,
this is Julie speaking? Julie?
Yeah, Julie.
Yeah. So how do we not panic, put all of that into just a certain realm of reality and move on and get out of it?
Your thoughts. You'll know it. When you feel that scared. No, I don't do meditation. I mean, that's so overrated. I did it when I was
I do it when I sleep,
Well, I did it a long time ago. Yes, I have. But
do you guys pray for others? I only pray for others.
I always
don't
pray for
really
others.
pray for myself.
I always pray for others, but I always come in contact when somebody's attached. It will be like, "Dora, you gotta go to the store." And I'm like, to my husband, "I'm gonna see ya. I'm gonna get, apple juice. I'll be right back." My husband goes, "Oh God, now she's gonna help someone."
My language.
I'm telling you. You know when you know
we
when
all
to
gotta
go.
get together and have a kickback. Serious.
I'm telling you, know when you know to go to help another human being. You always know. Ace did the same thing to me. She did to me for 2 weeks straight. But death, the afterlife, the light, and we talked about it all the time. And I said to her, "Why do you want to know all this stuff now? We have so much time." And she just was adamant about it. I'm like, "You sure? I mean, this is not the right time to talk about it, but all right." So I told her I'm not saying my views are the right views. I'm saying as born as an intuitive, I think you just know when people come into your life that you need to help.
Well, so what's your suggestion for those of us that are not intuitive? How do we not panic?
All intuitive.
Julie, you are intuitive.
You are intuitive.
You just gotta tune into it.
Back of your head, tune in, turn on. And that's what my teacher told me. You have to tune in, turn on, door. I'm like, all right, let's go for the tune in, turn on.
I wanted to say that I have had, not experienced it exactly like you described it, more like I could feel the energies.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like I saw them in the form that you saw in front of your eyes, but I could feel them. And you're right, some of them are bad, some are good, but it is kind of a strange thing. It is weird. It's strange.
You have to understand. You come up to this planet for good and bad.
Yeah.
This is yin and yang. It's like the left, the right, the up, the down, the good, the bad, evil, the kind. Whatever it is, you have to understand you're in duality.
Yeah.
And if you guys understood that, then you understand how I think we come down maybe a little more intuitive.
More balance in duality.
Well, I think we're more intuitive than you guys because we're here to help other people, and quite frankly, you don't want the burden. And you think it's a beautiful gift and stuff. I think it's from hell because I don't want it.
You know, you're right because No.
Yeah, but it gets to that point you don't know what to do anymore. You see someone have an abortion, or you see someone losing a child, or you see cancer, or you see death, or you see someone hanging out. When you start seeing this stuff, it's not fun.
No.
By any means, I can't say I'm having like the greatest time of my life.
Hijacker, what's your favorite pastime? What makes you happy, brother? I'm curious.
Well, I just want to finish off with Julia. The way I do it, Julia.
As long as you answer my question after.
Okay. So Julia, once you know and you're researching and you know true reality, there is one more step that you can take, and that is actually to be a player, to get on the board. If I were to tell you that ideas, strategies, concepts, that is the currency of the one world order, and if you come up with a good idea or a good pathway, or you try to manipulate the chess game, if it's good enough, it will hit its mark, and you can alter reality. And so then, once you are in the battle, where bullets are flying by you, you can smell the gun smoke, then all of a sudden, you come across information, and you can, almost in a split second, oh, I know what that's about.
That's true, Jacker.
Yeah, but Jacker, smelling the gun smoke, that is a metaphor as if you're a soldier on the line. I have been out on the street corner holding signs. I've been a picketer. I've been a protester. I've been active for a long time. And only recently, through meeting you guys, have I really come to realize that voting is all a bunch of crap and it's all rigged. You know, I've seen the congressional hearings where the guy said, I wrote the program to switch it from 49 to 51. So
I'll tell you the problem of this country.
Wait,
okay?
Julie, that's an awesome statement. I just have to tell you. Like, for you to get to this land, I don't even know what to say.
Pacification of America. Nobody.
We finally saw it, though. I mean, how many more of us
so
are
awesome. So awesome.
I know, because I have friends that are still caught in that matrix of, oh, we voted for so-and-so, and he's such a demigod, and I'm like...
Right? Yeah.
My mom did it.
They want to worship these politicians like they're going to change everything. I'm like,
I know.
Change? I don't know about that.
Well, dude, Obama's like on The View, and he's on sports shows.
No,
he's on every news channel. He's like a celebrity.
He's
not a leader.
He's on Fallon. He's on Jay Leno.
Right.
Oh, come on. He doesn't look like the Egyptian god. I mean, come on, you guys know what he looks like.
But for most regular people, even if you get out and vote, that's the big deal for regular people, and most of them don't even do that.
Yeah, it's
I know.
It's all fake. Now you know. You're like, oh, hell. I never voted in my life. Never. Not once.
I have to tell you, I only voted once when I was 18, and I will not vote. I
never voted. So my mother said to me,
I voted 3 times.
But it's funny because, we watch, okay, so sociologically, we watch the public, look into, the president of the POTUS, the president of the United States on the talk show at night. And then, and then we watch his wife on the daytime talk show with Ellen, and then we watch her dance, and we watch him dance, and then we watch them sell their thing, and like Bill, my husband, he watches ESPN or
on NBC, Obama and Michelle dancing with the stars.
Colin Cowherd, or whatever his name is, he has Obama on the show, and he's talking about Obamacare, and then everyone's talking about Obamacare, and I have to tell you something.
You know what's funny too about that? 7 million supposedly signed up, right? Guess what?
They're all screwed.
Those 7 million are all prison inmates.
Prisoners.
Oh.
They're prisoners.
Honey, I've been to a
state.
And
then think about it. What's the population of America? 300 million. So you're talking about 7 million people, even if they are prisoners. That's like so small of a percentage of people that are really.
It's so successful.
Come on, we don't make any cars. We don't make nothing anymore. We make nothing in this country. My mother called me.
Bullshit.
My mother called me yesterday and said, "I'm going to buy an American car." I said, "American?" I said, "We make nothing."
What is that?
Well, I drive a Cadillac. She has a Caddy, right? And she said to me, well, I'm going to buy a Chevy. I said, Are you still thinking Chevy, apple pie, and blue skies and all that crap that you're programmed and you're 70 years old? Really, you really need to get your butt kicked at this point.
Don't you guys think that Obama, this whole campaign that he had in his presidency, is a form of mind control? I think
For sure.
You think?
Listen,
you think he's going to talk?
This is still made in America.
Nothing's made in America. Let me tell you something. You know what's made in America? I had a Lincoln Township or car dealership for Lincoln only. Lincoln. Okay?
Evangelism was made in America.
Right. Well, I drove a vet. I
funny,
drove a Corvette. I did not drive a Lincoln. Well, I had Lincoln Town cars, besides the point.
Only Camrys are made in America.
3 parts of the car was made in America. The rest was made overseas in China. Same thing with my Cadillac. Now they're going to China also.
You know,
you think you're doing like the best thing to like put yourself in America. It's a bunch of crap. It's not true.
Well, I research what I can, and I do buy made in American when I can. If I can't.
And what car are you going to buy?
I'm not buying a car.
You tell me who makes a car in America. Anybody else? Raise your hand.
Tesla?
Please, now. That has nothing to do with
Tesla.
Tesla. It has to do with
I've
Japanese.
worked on the head engineer's computer, actually.
I would just really like to get some, broccoli.
Anything America. Anything. You tell me what's made in America.
Toyota are made in America.
Agriculture, California, crops.
Well, they're assembled in America.
I'm talking about cars or furniture or clothes or something. You guys tell me something that's made in America.
Food.
How about food?
Please. You gotta be kidding me. Not they spray our crops or anything.
Our crops.
Budweiser.
Hilarious.
How about a car? Or how about your clothes? Or how about your...
Made in America.
Anything.
Nothing.
Nothing is made in America anymore. And that's how they crumbled us one at a time.
So make something, damn it.
It's not even make something, damn. I totally understand that. My grandfather was an inventor and he was a pattern maker. That was back in the 30s. So I understand. He was a pattern maker. Back in the days, that's when they put like wood and they bent it and they would make whatever you wanted. They would make it for you and out of wood. They do like this little...
Like a cabinetry guy.
Not cabinetry. No, my grandfather never made cabinets. Like atomic bombs or whatever you wanted. He could make it out of wood. Oh, yeah. The Chinese came to him 1940s. My mom was born in 1952. Swear to God. And he said to me, I was born in 65. So he sat me down and he said, you know, and my grandfather never swore. Never swore. And he's from England, and he had like 7, 8 kids, you know, brothers and sisters, and they had to move from England to the United States. And he had a 5th grade education, and he was a genius. Made the water heater. He did if you could think it, he did it. And everybody screwed him because of where he came from. And he said these Chinese guys came into my shop, and they put out this blueprint, and he said, oh my God. Oh my God. And now he read the blueprint. Imagine, 5th grade education. Oh my God, he said. That's an atomic bomb. He said, get out of my office right now because I love my America.
All right, we got about 5 minutes left. I want to get...
You have to understand where we come from. Go ahead.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick wants to say something. Nick, here's your chance.
Nick, we got about 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
Drop it. Drop that mic, man. Drop it hard.
Okay, well, no, I just wanted to say that they've never made real technology. They don't make anything. They've never made a real car in the history of this planet, as far as I'm concerned. One thing they do make in America, as well as a lot of other places, is mind control. And we use terms like leader of the free world. If you want to examine that phrase and see the oxymoron that it is, as long as we still keep thinking in those terms.
Point.
As long as we still keep thinking in those terms, then we're never going to be controlling our own minds. Government is 2 Latin words meaning control mind. Okay, and so if we want to be free, we have to be self-governing. That's the end-all be-all.
Wow. That was heavy.
All right, Wingman, you're up. Drop it hard.
Well, you know, Nick mentioned technology. We haven't made a real car. Volkswagen recently have created or made commercially available 300 mile per gallon car, but apparently it's not allowed in America. America are denying the sale of that car.
Exactly.
And that isn't the first car that's happened with regards to very economical cars.
But yeah, we got military tanks that can get like 100 miles per gallon carburetors on them. Hey, Jack, your last words, brother?
I'll go after the 4 ladies go.
All right, Noreen.
Oh gosh, there's been so much good stuff. I don't know what to say except the doom and gloom that Hijacker was talking about, yeah, I believe in balance. I think we need to balance the good and the bad, but at the same time, if people are too much in La La Land, it's true. You don't have an awareness, you don't have wisdom, but then again, you have to balance it all out, I guess. That's all I have to say.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
I just want to say that it's awesome to be a part of this show today. Tune into my show tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's Studio B here at Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
It's a good show.
Yeah,
Thank you guys all for being here. Julie.
Okay, last thoughts. Wingman, think once about where Volkswagen came from. That's one thing. And yes, there is the doom and gloom. Noreen, I have to agree with you. We have to realize it and yet balance it out and figure out how we can best balance it out, not only for our own lives, but for the lives of the greater good.
Amen.
And the world as a whole.
Dory and then Pete.
Angela Black, I have to hook up with you, girl.
Yeah, we got it all.
Everybody stick around after the show.
Yeah, we're going to have an
private
show, I hope.
Private side. Pete, last words?
Pete.
Words of wisdom, man. Drop it like it's hot.
Right. Don't forget about your Second Amendment rights. Never give up your guns.
Never.
Right.
Drop it like it's hot. I like that rectification.
You gotta love him, though. Why not? I mean, come on.
Why don't we get an extra hour? Why do not?
Well, we have to go private now.
You guys want to stay on the air? I really have the urge to cuss. I don't know.
Yeah, but who's
well, we have to go private.
He has the urge to cuss.
We can go private.
Jacker needs his last word.
You were last. Go for it, bro.
No, I was just going to tell Julia, I got a fascination on, now that we know we're on the precipice of some type of event or judgment, we all know it. We don't know what it quite is, but we can feel it. I often wonder how we got here, and then you told me that you held signs up, you were an activist.
Yeah.
And Julia, you got to admit, there's not that many people on the playing board that were activists. Don't you agree with that?
Agreed.
That's what happened. We just didn't pay attention. Something went wrong.
9/11 should have done it.
My birthday.
Oh, Jacker, ultimately take care of your kids, baby. And do what you can for the rest of the planet, but you take care of your kids first. Feed your family.
Even before 9/11, if we had just done what we should have done in the 2000 election, I think we would have prevented 9/11. We would have redirected the direction this planet was
the non-election of Bush, who then showed up as Bush.
I don't think hanging Chads would have meant anything, really. All right, everybody. Been listening to TheGrayZone. I want you all to have a blessed and loved week. We love you. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our site, freedomslips.com, and give us a donation. Otherwise, we're not going to breathe through the next month. Peace out. Rectify. Wingman out.